Okay, girl. I know you are looking at my stuff. You're binging all of my content and you're going through my stories at 2 a.m., accidentally hitting the wanting more information button. And I think now is the time. Hey, what's up? My name is Elizabeth Graham and I am a messaging and sales strategist for service-based business owners. Since 2023, I've helped over a dozen women learn how to create a message that attracts their dream clients, and I have helped them sell confidently inside of the DMs without the script. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and follow me by clicking the little notification bell so you can get notified every time I have a new video. And if you're in the podcast, please rate this because it helps really get this out to more people in other countries. And also I can help so many more people like you in other spaces to have a clear message and sell confidently in the DMs in their business. Most service-based providers think that closing the sale is some kind of bold salesy tactic that you need to do in order to make it happen. But all of that happens before you even step into that conversation. You've already read the room. You've had the conversations. You know exactly what stage they are in. And so when you actually bring up business and you talk about business, it doesn't come off as salesy. It comes off as this is how you serve them and this is how you help them create a business that continues to grow for them. This is when you step into your actual calling. All of it happens before you even step into a conversation with them in the DMs because you've read the room, you know what stage they're in buying, and you've taken the time to get to know them in their content, in their stories. And so when the close happens, it just happens naturally because you already know so much about them that every conversation that you have with them leads you one step closer to asking for the sale. And today I'm going to show you exactly what 3 things to do inside of the DMs so you confidently start to close people in the DMs without a specific script. So let's get started. There are 3 things we're going to talk about today. Point number 1 is going to be social proof. Point number 2 is reading the room. And point number 3 is your permission-based closing. I know this feels like a different video podcast because it's more teaching, but I really wanted to share this with you because I see so many try and close me in the DMs and it just breaks my heart when it's done incorrectly because I'm like, there's so much different way you can do it. And I'm like, why don't I just do a video podcast and have it like saved in my phone? So when they try and do it, I'm like, go watch this. I'm going to teach you how to do it correctly. And I got myself a lead right there. So I'm going to teach you these 3 things. We're going to go through them one by one. Now, if you don't know much about the buyer's journey, don't worry. I was you. 2023 Liz had no idea what that was until one day, one person sat me down and explained to me what it is that every person is on. People are on certain stages in their journey. Some don't even know they need you. That's the problem awareness. Some are thinking about like hiring you. That's consideration. And then others are ready to buy. They're just waiting for one thing and to help them make the decision. And that is decision making. Today, we're going to talk about the decision making stage. That's the last stage. When people are ready, there's just one thing they're waiting on to help them make that decision. This is when I'm going to tell you that when I talk about the first 3 stories, which I've done a video before, which I'll link below, this is when I start talking about you sharing testimonials. I can almost guarantee that you are not sharing them. You are not sharing your own video testimonials, screenshots. You're not sharing like stories. You're not sharing voice notes. You're not sharing anything to show your expertise, to show you've transformed some lives because people get flooded every single day with information. This is the most important part of your message. Why? Because you're showing that you can take them through where they were to where they will be. The biggest piece is transformation. A lot of times in messaging, transformation piece is the hardest to get. But once you nail that, it's like you have discovered a brand new way to sell to your people. It is such an eye-opening transformation of your own to start sharing the transformation of others. You start to realize like, hey, wow, I really helped this person go from zero to from zero to doubling, tripling their income. That was me. I help them. You start to gain more confidence. So the more that you share, the more a person, it will help them make that decision, because not only have they seen your post once, 10 times, maybe 20, 30, you have shared every single day a certain video testimonial, a case study. You have shared some kind of form that you can and you will help them transform their own business and even their lives sometimes. When you share this, especially in the nurturing platform that you have, you are showing them that, hey, this is what I can do for you. This is how I can help you in your life. This is how I can help you in your business. This is how my mentorship program can really transform you from A to B. But unless you don't share that, they won't know what it is that you can do for them. And it isn't bragging. See, that's the thing. I think a lot of you don't share it because you're afraid that you're going to come off as braggy, or like, what if people, like, you get that imposter syndrome. You're afraid that putting yourself out there and showing proof, some people will say, that ain't true. She didn't do that. That ain't. So what, dude? I can almost guarantee you when you start to show those testimonials, that might creep in. I can tell you that might creep in. But you know what? You changed someone's life. So why don't you own that, step into that authority and say, I helped do that. I will tell you, I know exactly what that feels like, because when I started sharing testimonials, I was scared. I was like, oh my God, what if they think I'm faking? What if they think I'm faking? What if they think this isn't real? What if they think that somebody else is? Because the truth is, and I'm not going to tell you otherwise, okay? Screenshots, people's incomes, testimonials, all that stuff is being faked and done by AI. It's unfortunate we're in this phase, but you know what will set you apart? When you start to share the other two journeys, when you make them aware of their problem, you share your framework, you confidently start to talk about how you did that. You did the dang thing. That was you. And no one can step into that authority for you. You're going to have to do that by sharing all the results you've gotten. I'm not saying all at once, like once a day is fine, especially in your nurturing, but share what you've done for people. So when do you know that someone is prepared for the decision stage? When do you know that someone is prepared to take the leap? Well, here are a couple things that you can look for. I will say that sometimes it's the accidental tap, like, oh, I just accidentally did that. I've said this before, that I'm like, when someone does it accidentally, I still hit them up. I'm like, hey, I saw that you tapped. And they're like, oh no, I just want to support you. Awesome. Great. Do you know anybody who would be interested in their messaging? Do you know anybody who wants to make more sales online? Do you know anyone? Like, ask them for the referral, ask them to share like what it is that you do, like, so you can get referrals and you can start building that referral. So the accidental tap, it could be for them, like they're like, oh yeah, I'm just supporting you. Or yeah, you know, I'm interested. That is one way to know that they are ready to make a decision. They're just not, they're a little timid about it. They become kind of timid about like stepping into that because they're afraid. And I've talked about before, like why people are afraid to invest. I mean, we're in a time where people are getting like bamboozled left and right. When everybody is a coach, everybody is a mentor, everybody is some kind of an expert in something. But it isn't until you get bamboozled that you realize that that person isn't really good at that. I'm almost certain I got bamboozled. Your like trust goes from like, let's say you were a trusting person like me, you go from like 100 to like 60 because you're like, I got to get my spidey senses going because I don't want to get bamboozled again. Number 2, this is the next way to learn the signal. This is a second signal, is they start asking about your content, your offer, what you do, how you do it, what is it. They start to ask intriguing questions. They start to get involved, like, oh my God, I want to take your freebie. I want to do your freebie. When I have a lead like almost every day and they do my freebie and stuff, I'm not going to lie, like one of the things that I need to get better at is messaging them. Once they do my freebie, really asking the question of like, hey, did you go into Circle? Like I had someone message me, hey, I got your, like, I signed up for your freebie, but I never got an email. That is like, I marked him as a lead because I'm like, boom, you got my freebie. Okay. Like, let me figure out what's going on. What's the email? I can check it out. And then I can start building that connection. And I could be like, hey, like, you know, I do pretty good. I could improve my sales sequence for my emails, which I will get to that. That's another story for another day. But like, once they start getting in your atmosphere, they're really hot. They want to work with you. They're just wanting to dip their toes in what you have. And it's up to you to nurture that and take care of them so that you can turn them into a client. So once they start like asking about your content, you know they're low-key ready. And then the third one is they start to binge your stuff. You start to like, I have seen people watch so many of my videos and then I message them like, hey, I saw you were watching my videos. Is there anything specific you want to learn more about? Do you have any questions for me? I would love to help you, especially if you're wanting to learn about messaging and sales. Is there anything in particular you want me to talk about? And then that opens the door to conversation to listen, because they could say something to me like, well, I'm not getting a lot of leads. Okay, well, tell me about your target audience. Who are they? That, my dears, is how your girl closes people, is I ask questions, which brings me to the next one, permission-based questions. Now, I'm not going to own that and say I created that. That was taught to me and it changed my life, how I talk to people and how I ask questions. So I'm not going to own it. It's not mine, but I will say that I tweaked it up and I made it my own. So permission-based selling really is you asking questions that are open-ending questions that give the permission, that is asking for permission to ask for the next question, like asking for the next thing. I'm going to give you an example. This is when we ask one question and one pitch. Okay, it's just one question at a time, one pitch. I'm going to be sharing a video about like CVS, like receipt long messages that I see people send and I see people send me that I'm like, it's all about you. So this is when I say one question, one pitch, is you end with one single question and you make a very short like response. It's not about you. You know your stuff. You know that you have something amazing to offer. But the problem is when you word vomit people, it makes them run away. I read last night a book that over explaining something, it just shows lack of confidence. I highlighted that part, I underlined it because I was like, that is so true. Over explaining, over sharing, it's you trying to like, kind of, how can I say this to you? It's you trying to, I don't know if justify is the right word, but like you're trying to convince them and you that you're good. You're trying to convince somebody that you're good. Like, I'm really good. So let me tell you why I'm good. Now, we can get into the science of that, like the psychological side of it, like trauma and stuff like that. But most of the time, it's because you're not confident in who you serve and you're not confident in how you do it. And you're not confident, more importantly, in your message, which is why I'm here to help you. That's the type of thing that I show you inside of the Phoenix Experience. It's my monthly membership where by the first month, I want you to be confident in who you serve, what's their pain points, and their language. Like I want you to walk away with confidence that, okay, I know exactly who it is that I serve. I know exactly what I have to offer, and I know exactly how I'm going to solve this problem for them. And by month 3, you have a message that we can start really promoting through your content because we've taken the time to really get to know your audience and really get to know their own voice and language. So our message becomes a person that becomes your dream client. And so if you're interested in learning more about it, I'm going to put that down in my description for you to get more information on the Phoenix Experience on my monthly membership. I'm going to raise the prices in June when I get back, when I finally move across the country and I'm settled in, because it's more of a mentorship than it is a membership. I'll be honest. I thought it was just a membership where I can just do that. No, I've literally like pour into these women and I really help them gain that confidence in themselves and their messaging because I want them to make sales. I want them to close clients. I want them to have a message that speaks while they're asleep, to really step into online, not just another thing that somebody scrolls by, but a thing that their audience wants to learn, that the algorithm, not that I care for that thing, but like that the algorithm pushes out to their people who need their help. So again, click the link down in the description, the Phoenix Experience, and start to gain that confidence. So when you're in permission, like you're having that permission-based conversation, you are confident. You already know who it is. You already know who you're talking to. And there's no guessing who it is that you're talking to. There's no guessing if you can help them because you know they fit your target audience. And so when you're in that permission-based selling, that permission-based questions, you're asking them like, so tell me what you're going through. Tell me what is going on. And everything with, does that sound right? Like, would you like to learn more? These are just little questions that you ask. My favorite really is, does that sound right? Because what you're telling me might be coming different through my lens. Like I could have heard something wrong. I could have read something wrong because obviously text is different when you're in the DMs and even a voice note. So you tell them back because you are showing that you are listening and you're intentional, and you want to make sure that you're clarifying. Because if you get something wrong and you don't ask, does that sound right? They could be like, that's not what I was saying. I wasn't saying that. So you want to make sure that you're intentional when it comes to asking those questions. You want to leave the door open. You want to put the ball in their court. So when they don't answer, if they do answer and you don't have time to respond, you can respond when you're ready. The thing with DMs is it does take a little longer than if you do a discovery call right away. But the thing with DMs is if you are a mom or you are busy, it is so much more easier to just pick up your phone, put a text, and put your phone down. And you can do that with 100 people. But when you're doing a discovery call, which I ain't dogging that because I have clients who love that stuff, I think when you do a discovery call, it has to be like, luckily right now when I'm recording, my house is quiet because it's spring break and the kids are not even here. They're at the park down the street. So I don't know where they're at. I'm that kind of a mom. But they're down there with a bunch of kids, so I can record and I can take a discovery call, but it's not the norm for me. So permission-based, like talking and closing and stuff in the DMs has to come with a servant's heart. So you can ask like a certain permission-based question that's kind of like, so I started looking at my content and I'm so excited because I'm working through it and trying to help more people. I noticed that you've been going through my content and I would love to help you more. If you are interested in learning about messaging and sales, I would love to help you with yours. Would you like to learn more information? That is a permission-based question. Like, would you like to learn more? You know, you're not dumping a whole bunch of like a long thing for them. You're just asking them, would you like to learn more? If they tell you no, they tell you no. That's fine. Just move them into warm. They're not ready and just keep nurturing them. It's literally that simple. But the thing is, I can say it's that simple because this is what I do. Selling is a muscle you must work on every single day. It is the one muscle that I say every day. So other muscles need rest. This one, you have to keep working at it. And when I say every day, please don't take it literally. Okay. What I'm saying is you just have to keep working at it to get it stronger, to get it better, to get it like really strengthen it. You won't get better sitting on the sidelines being like, oh my God, I just need to get another course, or I just need to get another worksheet. I just need to get another strategy, another tactic, another hack. No, sweetie, you just need to get to work and do it and fail and be okay with that. Be okay with failing. Be okay with someone saying no. It is terrifying. Trust me, it is terrifying. Look, this is a story for another day, but I missed out on $15,000 worth of sales, okay? 5 people, $3,000 a piece when I was learning, no. Or ghosted me, or just messaged me months later and said, no, I'm not interested anymore. You want to know what I did besides crying? I put my big girl panties on and I picked them up and I was like, all right, we're done. Let's review all those tapes. I said tapes, but let's review all those recordings and look at where we failed. Where do we fail, Liz? And let's take that and learn from it. And I did. And I was like, I'm going to get better. I'm not going to let another 15K go by. Have I had no's? Yes, but I don't care. A no today is a yes for tomorrow. One day I've had a no for a year. One day she was like, you know what? You're right. It's been a year and I have not seen improvement. And now she's crushing it. Because I am a big believer in implementing, I don't want you taking information and running with it. Here's your homework for this week. I'm going to challenge you to just post one piece of content that is social proof, whether it's a testimony, even if it's your own, video note, screenshot, something. Please don't make it up. I'm begging you, don't make it up. If you don't have one of somebody, share your own. I had to share my own before I got consistent clients on how I was doing certain things, and it got me clients. Share a testimony, even if it's your own, at least just once. And when you do it, I want you to go and check who sees it in your stories, who's checking out your stories, who's engaging in your stories, and engage with them. Put them in your tracker. They're your warm leads. They're interested. They're just waiting. Their timing just isn't now. And I know people teach go for no. I'm going to talk about that, but I know that's there and that's a thing. I don't do that. I used to do that during my MLM days. I was a big, cold messenger. I messaged 100 people, got blocked by 80, got maybe five people from that. And the other 15 just were like, no, leave me alone. This was back in my MLM days. So the go for no is not for me. I'd rather slow and steady And then when it's their time, they'll come. Other people might teach you otherwise, but that's not what you're going to get here. I believe in doing things with being intentional about who you talk to. Not everybody's a client, but everybody can be a collaborator and they can be a connection. But if you go for no, you're going to burn those other two. They won't want to collab with you and they won't want to connect you with any other friends. So if I were you, I would be intentional. I would go slow, be steady, and win the race. Do your homework and I will see you next week. And again, if you are not ready for the Phoenix experience, I do have my Spark the Conversation challenge. And it's a 5-day challenge on Circle, 20 minutes a day, 1 video, 1 homework, and at the end, you'll have your own copy mining blueprint. And you can use that with your content, with marketing, put it into your AI, and it'll completely be yours and your language, phrases, pain points. You'll learn how to put that all together and have your own blueprint to use. So the description for that one is going to be down below. Click the link and it's over on Circle. So make sure you click that Circle link. A lot of people aren't doing that and I've had to email individually. So click the Circle link and I will see you next week. Bye.